Good morning students. Today we will study power of adaptation, power of accommodation, optical illusion and three-dimensional vision. Please listen to the class. Power of adaptation. It is the ability of the eye to adapt to the different light conditions by altering the size of the pupil with the help of contraction and relaxation of iris muscle. In dim light, the radial muscles of the iris contracts, which results in pulling the circular muscle towards the periphery, due to which the size of the pupil increases or dilation of the pupil take place and more light from the object enter into the eye. In bright light, the circular muscles of the iris contracts, pulling the radial muscles towards the center, which results in decreasing the size of the pupil, or pupil contracts and entry of light is regulated. In these diagrams, you can see the first set of diagram, the dilation of pupil, and in that the diagram that is shown below of the first set, the radial muscles are shown being contracted. And in the second set of diagrams, you can see in that smaller diagram which is at the bottom side, the circular muscle is shown contracting. That results in the decrease of the size of the pupil.
This is a constricted pupil in bright light, and as the light intensity decreases, it dilates.
When we enter from a dim light or dark room to a bright area, like when we come out of a cinema hall during the day, we feel dazzling effect. This is because when we were in the dim light, our pupils of the eyes are dilated and rhodopsin is generated and helps in seeing the object in dim light. But when we move out to a bright lighted area, it takes some time for the pupil to dilate and it takes some time for the pupil to constrict and rhodopsin to be bleached or degenerated. That is why we feel a dazzling effect when we come from a dim lighted area to a dark room. Like that, when we enter into a dark room from a bright lighted area, we feel partial blindness. This is because in bright lighted region, the pupil of the eyes are constricted. So limited light is entering into the eye and rhodopsin is bleached. Therefore, it takes some time for the pupil to dilate and rhodopsin to be regenerated. That's why we feel partial blindness. Now come to power of accommodation. It is the ability of the eye to accommodate the images of the objects of varying distance on the retina by altering the shape of the lens with the contraction and relaxation of ciliary body. When the object is at a far away distance, the lens becomes flat or less convex. But when the object is close by the lens, the lens become more convex. Our eyes are adapted for distant vision, not for near vision. That is why we feel strain in the eye when we look at a nearby object for a long time, such as reading a book, watching TV, or working on a computer or on a mobile. During this time, the ciliary body or ciliary muscle needed to be in contracted state for longer time in order to keep the lens bulged or convexity of the lens to be increased. That causes accumulation of lactic acid in the ciliary muscle due to the anaerobic respiration and results in strain in the eye. This can be overcome by looking at a faraway object at a regular interval while doing such a work.
Power of accommodation. The ability of the eye lens to increase or decrease its focal length to some extent by ciliary muscle is called the power of accommodation. Working of eye lens. The eye lens is made of a fibrous jelly-like material, hence it is flexible. To see far off object clearly, the ciliary muscle relax so as to decrease curvature of the lens and it becomes thin and its focal length increases. Thus, image of far off objects is made on retina and the eye is able to see distant objects. To see nearby object, the ciliary muscle contract to increase curvature of the lens and it becomes thick. Thus, focal length of the eye decreases and able to see nearby object distinctively like reading. Focal length of the eye cannot be decreased below a specific limit. The eye cannot see object clearly below 25 centimeter. There is no such limit for distant object. Therefore, far point of normal human eye is infinite. This is the power of accommodation.
Now let us know what is optical illusion. It is the ability of the image to deceive our sense and mind. Here see, ability of the image, not lens, image to deceive our sense and mind is called optical illusion. Very good example is watching a movie or watching a television program. In real sense, the still picture of the movie are run in front of a light source at a speed of 24 frames per second and we feel it is in motion. So in real sense, the cinema or the film of the movie is, or they all are still pictures, still photographs, but these still photographs are allowed to run in front of a light source at a speed of 24 frames per second. So we feel that the person is in moving or the things are in motion. This is called optical illusion. The image is cheating us, deceiving our sense and mind. This is an example of optical illusion. In this you can see that all of a sudden when you look at this picture you will find the face of a man with his palm, but when you closely look at it you can find that it is a very arched door or a gate, and inside out of the gate an old man with a cap is standing at the left side and a young lady is standing at the right side and a dog is lying in front of them on the road. This is the actual. So all of a sudden when we look at it we get a different image, but when we look it closely we understand it is not that. So this is called optical illusion. Now 3D image or stereoscopic vision. This is the ability with only the primates. Only primates are having this ability, 3D image, because their eyes are placed in front of the face. But in the other animals like cow, buffaloes, horse, their eyes are at both the sides of the head. Okay, so only primates are having this 3D image vision or 3D image they experience. 3D image means we experience the depth of the image. That means the image that is formed in y-axis, x-axis as well as z-axis. The third one is called z-axis. That z-axis gives the depth of the image. This we can experience. It is experienced because the image that is taken by our both the eyes from two different angles. Suppose if we are looking at an object by our both the eyes, then these images taken by the eye, both the eyes from different angles of that particular object is overlapped in the occipital lobe of the cerebral hemisphere. This will result in 3D image formation. That is why this you can easily understand. If you go to a unknown means you have never visited a building which you have never visited, multi-story building never visited, by going to the top floor by the help of the lift and try to come down through the stairs by closing one of our eyes, then what happened, we slip down, we fall down. This is because as we have not been experienced with the stairs of that particular building, the depth of the each stair cannot be distinguished by our eyes, as we have closed one of our eyes, so we slip down. But this doesn't happens with that of the buildings or the school staircase when we climb up or climb down by closing one of our eyes. This is because already the images of the stairs are there in our brain. It is already embossed in our brain, so even if we have closed one of our eyes, we don't slip down with the non buildings or the stairs of the non building. But in the case of unknown building, it's not like that. Okay, that's about the 3D image or stereoscopic vision. That's all for today. The rest we will study in the next class. Have a nice day. Thank you.